we go back and forth in the mind. We'll be wanting to blame that person and we'll be feeling like victims. And then we'll come back and we'll take personal responsibility and kind of go through this holistic cycle. Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about emotional triggers and sacred contracts. Oh boy, what a lovely part of spiritual awakening. As the world continues to awaken spiritually at a rate and on a scale like never before on earth, individually, collectively, what we realize pretty quickly on is in order to go forward, we have to actually go back to the beginning. So individually, what this means emotionally and every level and every layer of our beings, what that means is that we actually have to face our core wounds and trauma from childhood. And there is no way around it. And there's no shortcut. Now, depending on how much trauma that you have and how long these patterns have occurred in your life, it will be a varying amount of time in your transformational gestational period of alchemical transmutation, as you, in many, many different ways and through many sacred contracts, have to have these core wounds and traumas and darkness illuminated through encounters and situations. And we all know that this can absolutely feel like a spiritual attack, and it can send all of our chakras like this. We can't even be in our body, a lot of the times when these things happen. But precisely because what these sacred contracts and encounters and things that feel like spiritual attacks are actually training us and teaching us how to do is to become masters of our minds, of our emotions, and of our bodies. They're teaching us self-mastery. And we begin to learn this. And when we learn this, and also when we understand that every person is a reflection of self, there's only one consciousness. Every person is a reflection of you. When you understand that, then you begin to understand the divinity and the sacred nature of these contracts that are guiding you and helping you to heal. And that absolutely does make it easier to reach a point within where you're able to seriously accept personal responsibility, personal accountability, and be able to sit with yourself like a stand-up person and say, I'm willing to do this thoroughly, through and through. I'm willing to reach a place of unconditional love, and I am consciousness with this other being, and honor their role in my life, and also honor them for who they are, and to send them healing energy and love and gratitude. These sacred contracts, the things that happen in our lives that are super challenging, and this becomes more and more frequent and prominent as we awaken. So it's gonna, like, when you awaken, I almost want to say that once you spiritually awaken and you begin to consciously play the game of this reality, it's almost as if we have to play by a higher caliber set of rules. So with that being said, it can almost become more challenging because you're willing to take personal responsibility. It's not like before, where we could just pour a glass of wine or turn on the TV or not worry about it, just go back to work. Because we're conscious warriors of love for one another and for ourselves, it's very, very challenging. But the important thing is to be able to reach the place where you can sit down with yourself and honor this person's divinity, honor the algorithm of the dynamic. Thankfully, from day one, I was always somebody that was very stand up and willing to be humble and stand my ground. But that does not mean that it's not still very challenging for me when it does happen, but I give thanks for it and I grow stronger and wiser and more into who I truly am with each and every one. So I really wanted to touch on this because this is a really, really hard part of awakening, especially when you don't have anyone around you that can understand what that is. But if you're a spiritually mature person, you don't need to tell anyone anyway. You don't need anyone to validate you. You don't need anyone to hop on your side. And if you have a true friend next to you, that person is going to hold you accountable. To remember that it's safe to turn everything off, turn off your phone, turn off the television, turn off the distractions, and sit with yourself and really step back and take a look at the whole picture and allow yourself, because we can't escape the ego because we have a mind. We have an ego. The idea is to master duality, which is working with the ego and with the spirit as one. So what that means is naturally every single time that one of these things happens, we go back and forth in the mind. Like we want to blame this person, and then we go ahead and we take personal responsibility. And then we actually see where this person is wounded and we send them compassion. But then, naturally, like it'll go in a loop and a cycle, and we'll be wanting to blame that person and we'll be feeling like victims. And then we'll come back and we'll take personal responsibility and kind of go through this holistic cycle of process, which needs to be done as well and is absolutely normal. I think that's the process, the natural process of healing in general. I hope this video has been helpful to you today. If it has, go ahead and drop a like and also subscribe to my channel for more of my content. I'm Val Mason. Until next time, take care.